Hey, so it's me. Just adjust my camera a little bit. Me, Vicky Marie, with a cup of tea. My teacher's mug today. Teach, love, inspire. That's what a student had made for me. And it's got Vicky on the other side. Anyway, so quick video. Remember last night we were talking about this case of poor Anna, who has gone missing in Madrid. Colombian born, American citizen, estranged from her husband David. And we watched last night, on my live show last night, we watched David, her husband's lawyer, telling us there were no problems in their marriage. Their marriage was ending, but there was no animosity. It was all very friendly. It was all very amicable. They hadn't even employed solicitors to deal with the divorce. By no means was it an acrimonious divorce, which led us to wonder then why David felt that he needed to get an attorney to come out and say all this when he didn't feel that he needed an attorney to deal with his divorce from Anna. So Anna was in Madrid, disappeared. Some strange texts have been sent from her to her friends saying that she met some guy on the street in Madrid and went off to spend a couple of weeks with him at his summer house, like you do when you just bump into someone on the street. And saying that the phone signal there was spotty, or she sent one of these messages in Spanish and one in English. Both looked like weird, sort of like both seemed like they'd been done on Google Translate. To be honest, the English was strange. The English message was strange. The Spanish message was strange. And Anna is a native Spanish speaker. She's Colombian. She speaks Spanish. So they both, so there's something very, very wrong here. Something, unfortunately, some foul play has befallen Anna. Hopefully she's still alive. She's maybe been kidnapped, but is still being kept somewhere. And there is a chance that she can be released. But the other strange thing, of course, remember that had happened was that the CCTV in the apartment where she was staying, half an hour before she was last sort of seen or heard of, a man in a black crash helmet spray painted the CCTV. So of the door cam and of the hallway. So Anna's movements or anyone going into Anna's apartment could not be seen. So obviously this is a very, very suspicious case. Her friends and family, her friend Sanna, who's Swedish and actually lives in Stockholm. I thought she lived in America, but she doesn't. Apparently she lives in Stockholm in Sweden. She's very concerned. She's been doing appeals on News Nation, and other various other news channels, American news channels. And her brother has been appealing for help on Colombian, and because he's a Spanish speaker. We've all been sort of trying to spread the word. The police have released, have classed her as a vulnerable missing person. Her picture comes on all ATMs now, certainly in Madrid, if not in all Spain, of her as a missing person. Do you know what happened to Anna? This is what they do in Spain when it gets more serious and they're concerned about somebody's welfare. So the actual missing posters, when you go and take your money out at an ATM in Spain, the Anna's picture will come up and it'll tell you her description of her photo and the details of how she's gone missing. So last night on the live show, and the video that I've just released, probably you just today, I edited it and released the edited version because we talked about a lot of other different things. also on the live last night. So what I do is I do a live and then I cut it into chunks of different subjects, because some people don't like to watch a live, they like to watch a video. So I'm trying to keep everybody happy, which I always fail at, but I'm trying. So, and the lawyer was on News Nation being interviewed. Why David himself wasn't interviewed, I don't know. Maybe his English isn't brilliant. Because David, her estranged husband, is, although he's an American citizen as well, he is Serbian born. And apparently at the moment he is in Serbia. And there was a bit of confusion as to whether he was in Serbia when Anna went missing, or whether he was in America, because he told Anna's friend, Sana, that he was in America, in Florida, where they live. Anyway, it's a moot point now. We discussed why had he got his solicitor to speak for him? Why not just speak for himself? Could be the language problem. Could be that he just doesn't want to say the wrong thing, because he'll be well aware that partners are normally the first person to get investigated when someone goes missing. So we discussed that. It doesn't necessarily mean that David has got anything to do with it. And the lawyer was at great pains to tell us, wasn't he, that there was no animosity in this divorce. It was very friendly. Everything was friendly. No problems. Lo and behold, then what happens now is, because I remember I was saying, wasn't I, last night, well, wouldn't Anna have told her friends if she had any problems with her husband? Because Anna was a person who spoke to her, who communicated with her friends, discussed things with her friends. She wasn't a person who kept things to herself, so, and lo and behold, what's happened now is some texts have come out which show things in a very different light to what the solicitor was saying last night. Sorry, my phone's ringing. I should have turned it off, of course. Anyway, so let's have a look to see what has come out now about these texts that show there was some abuse in this relationship. Again, it doesn't mean that David is involved in this disappearance, but sheds a completely different light on what the solicitor said. Let's see.
We get texts received they were from Anna to a friend. Originally, they were in Spanish. We had them translated, and this is basically what it is, all right?
Right. I'm going to translate these, okay? And then we'll listen to his translation. So, she says, Anna says, fue que él tenía un amante en Bogotá. So, it was that he had a lover in Bogotá, which is in Colombia, I think. Que fue a ver y estuvo con ella. That he had one and he was with her. Inclusive mientras yo estaba con él. Even when I was with him. Tratando de arreglar las cosas con la terapista de pareja. So he had this partner even when I was with him, trying to sort out things with the therapist, like the marriage therapist or the partner therapist. Then she says, y mientras me gritaba que yo era una bitch. And then he was shouting at me that I was a bitch, por ponerlo en juicio frente a otros, to put him to judgment in front of others. Porque la única mal era yo, because I was the only thing that was bad. El problema era solo yo. The problem was only me. Estaba haciendo planes y aún con ella. So he was already making plans with this other woman when they were going to like marriage therapy. Y me di cuenta luego que él me dejó como un perro en la calle en Belgrade. So I realized, yo me di cuenta, I realized later when he left me like a dog in the street in Belgrade. And then the friend says, oh, no sabía eso. Oh, I didn't know that. And then Anna says, yo no creo que yo pueda perdonar eso. I don't think I can forgive that. Y el sexo ni te digo. So she's saying, I can't even talk to you about sex. Terrible para mí. It's awful for me. Yo estaba siendo abusada ya. I was being abused already at this point, a ese punto. Muy agresivo, very aggressive. Entonces yo, la verdad, no puedo. So I really just can't do it. El dolor que tengo. Yeah? The pain that I have. So, wasn't a brilliant relationship after all, was it? So let's hear what Cuomo's translation is.
David had a lover in Bogota, Colombia, and he was with her. It was while I was trying to fix things with him, with the couples therapist. In the meantime, he's yelling at me that I'm a bitch for putting him on trial in front of others. I'm the only bad person here. The only problem is me. He was making plans with her. I found out about it after he left me like a dog in the street of Belgrade, which is in Serbia. That's most likely a metaphor, right? The friend says, I didn't know that. Anna says, I don't think I can forgive it. And forget about the sex. I can't even talk to you about it. Terrible. I was feeling abused at that point. Very aggressive. So the truth is, I can't keep this. I have a lot of pain. What does this mean in terms of what was going on in her life? And does it have any relevance to her disappearance? Joining us again tonight is the attorney for Anna's husband, David, Ken Padowitz. Counsel.
So they've trotted out the attorney again. He's trotted out his lawyer again. What's the lawyer going to say about this text then, these texts? What's he going to say, that they had an amicable relationship still?
So thank you for rejoining.
Thank you for having me on, Chris.
So how does this message from Anna square with your understanding that there was no bad blood between these two individuals?
Well, let me first say again, Chris, that it's a terrible situation that this young lady is missing from her family and friends. Mm-hmm. And my heart, and I'm sure my client, as he told me, is very concerned about it and wishes that she be found as soon as possible. Having said that, I know that there were reasons based upon what my client and I have discussed for this.
Come on, let's have it. No, you're a lawyer. What are you going to say about those texts? What are you going to say about them?
This couple's marriage to end after 13 years. And the reason that this couple separated for approximately 4 months and were planning a divorce is because of the personal matters that occurred between them as a couple. You just showed a text that had been provided to you from one of her friends. And I'm confident, based on the conversations that I've had with my client, that David informed me that there were problems for both of them within the marriage, which is one of the reasons why their marriage was ending. So to me,
I totally get it. You don't end a marriage, counsel. Let me just cut to the chase here.
Come on, Cuomo, you tell him.
Clearly, you don't get divorced unless there are reasons to get divorced. I totally understand that. That comes as a surprise to nobody, let alone married people. The point is, two things cannot be true at the same time. They had no bad blood. They were getting divorced. Life goes on. People grow apart. And I felt I was being abused. He left me like a dog. He had this other woman. He called me a bitch. That's different. There is bad blood.
Exactly. So it can't be. I just wonder what this lawyer's going to, because I haven't watched the whole thing because I've been in class. I just saw bits of it before I started work. What's this lawyer? What's the excuse he's going to come up with? Slippery lawyer. So, when somebody calls, and listen, when relationships break down, a lot of bad things are said. by both sides. So that is a fact, isn't it? But this is not what the point is. This is not what the lawyer was saying last night, or in the video that I showed you last night, where he was saying how it was so amicable and there was no problems between them whatsoever. That wasn't what he was saying then. So that is the point of this. This is why it's wrong, because you said one thing and now these texts have come out. Probably what happened was Anna's friend, you know what it'd be like if it was your friend. You'd be watching, you think, hey, hang on a minute. He's saying there was no problems between them. I've got these texts from my friend where she's told me the horrible things he's done to her. You'd be straight on the bloody text to Cuomo.
There could be animosity. And you mix that with the fact that he's not even going to Spain to look for her, and the idea that, well, he doesn't speak Spanish. There are a lot of people in Spain that speak English. Makes people wonder, why is he so hands-off in this situation?
Yeah, and Sana, her friend from Sweden, she doesn't speak Spanish, but she still went to Madrid to try and find out what had happened to her friend. You know, if they had such a nice relationship still, such a, you know, no animosity, yeah, why didn't he go to help find her? Because Sana, the friend of Anna, asked him to go. Sana had to do it, but you know, and they weren't just in like, you know, a month-long relationship or whatever. They were married for 14 years. So they've got a history together, which this lawyer was telling us was all friendly, nicey.
Why is he half a world away in Serbia?
It's not exactly
and those are good questions, Chris, no doubt. Listen, nobody gets divorced, as you just indicated, for no reason at all. So there are obvious reasons that this couple separated and we're planning a divorce. But to describe it as a bad divorce when the couple had not even hired attorneys yet, they had not even begun filing motions or setting hearings for a divorce. It's kind of difficult to say that it was bad blood between them. Now, are there issues between couples that end up terminating their relationship? And maybe this text is one of those issues. Absolutely. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that isn't something that should be examined and looked at. But I think you need to take it into context. This was a couple that separated, and I think for a good reason.
Hey.
Is it just, I think that's the end of it.
Hey, thank you for watching.
Yeah. Is it just me or this particular photo of the guy?
Take it into context. This was a couple that separated.
Anyway, we still don't know that David is involved in a disappearance. He may not be involved in a disappearance. It may just mean that he's not just a twonk. You know, he can be a twonk and still not murder someone. You know, maybe he just treated Anna badly. That's why she wanted a divorce. I think they've been separated for quite a few months. We don't know. So it's still being investigated. But I just wanted to give you this little update, especially because just last night we were listening to the lawyer saying about what an amicable relationship that, and there was no, it was all fine. And now it comes out that actually she's messaged a friend and said he was having an affair with somebody in Bogota. He treated her, he called her a bitch. And he was even having an affair when she was trying to sort things out with a marriage counsellor. He called her a bitch. He accused her of this, that, and the other, and he left her like a dog on the streets of Belgrade, according to her. So he's not, it wasn't the sort of amicable breakup that he said it was, basically. So I just wanted to give you that update because, we're following this case. Anytime I get an update, I'll be on to tell you about it. Thank you so much, all of you subscribers out there. If you're finding my channel for the first time, please subscribe. It's completely free. Thank you to my members. Thank you to everyone who supports my channel. By being members, by sending supers, by buying me Ko-fis. Thank you so much. And that's the way this channel keeps going, and I can bring you news of missing persons, etc. So don't forget to subscribe, because if you want to get notification and press your notification button so that you get news of new videos, because I will be on this case, and also tonight I'll be doing an update on Samantha Murphy, who is the lady who, unfortunately, the mum of 3 who's missing in Australia. That's another very mysterious disappearance, and I'll be doing an update on that later today. So remember to live and love very wisely, very carefully. Unfortunately, we don't find out till it's too late that the people we fall in love with are complete twonks. But anyway, look out for the signs. And I will see you very soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you. Thank you so much.